kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice and medical care, please contact your doctor. Brought to you by Koala Cola. It tastes just like Down Under. I'm Crampy Koala. Take it away, TJ Dillon.
Welcome to the Jock Doc podcast featuring Dr. London Smith, producer Cameron, Crampy Koala, a special guest, and me, DJ Dillon. And live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock Doc podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as subcortical purulence and sponsored content, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
How are you doing, Dr. London?
Today?
Well, I mean, just this week, you've been, ever since you got vaccinated, you've been sort of partying a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's only with other vaccinated people, but I guess there are some types of there's certain crowds that I didn't used to hang out with because I was so living in fear. But now that I'm vaccinated,
yeah,
I feel kind of like I can do anything.
Well, and that's awesome. But you and I want to say, Crampy, you guys went parasailing with famed anti-koala activist Scummy Steve.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what you're getting at. So he had the hookups for the parasailing thing. Like, he had a really good deal going. And we were barely hanging out all the time anyway. And so he said, like, just come with me. I've already got the thing set up. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess it's stupid to say no. It's parasailing.
Because I want to remind our listeners, we are now on the Koala Cola podcast network.
Yes.
The #1 soda in all of Australia. Koala Cola. It tastes just like Down Under.
It tastes just like Down Under.
And Koala Cola makes an amazing product that has no koalas and no koala parts or juices in it.
Yeah, and I think that is a point.
We've been over this a lot lately. We've talked about this so much.
It's an important point that I think is worth repeating, that there are no koala parts in it at all. And that's really interesting to know and to just reiterate.
And that's great, but it just, when you're hanging out with Scummy Steve, who his entire thing is being anti-koala and how we should be eating more koalas, that looks bad. That really reflects poorly on Koala Cola.
Yeah, so I guess...
And you didn't invite me at all.
So the way he phrased it was that he's pro-koala eating. So, like, whenever you say anti-koala, that terminology is a bit confusing, given that,
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just based on how it's framed in the media, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to change it so that
one's anti one thing is someone else's pro other thing.
But yeah, I'll admit that it was a little bit uncomfortable for Crampy. Just like it seemed like every seat, even on the boat that Crampy found, was a grill or something designed to trap him or, heat him up to cook him. But, like, that's Steve,
Yeah, and that's just, like, normal, parasailing stuff.
Yeah, that's how to parasail. As far as I know, that was my first time. So,
Yeah.
It was a genuine
Well,
life
okay,
experience.
yeah, I apologize for judging so harshly, Dr. London. It sounds like everything was above board. I didn't mean to, get on to you harshly. And we can, of course, cut this out of the podcast if you don't want to be, if you want to keep this private.
Yeah.
But, I just want to keep you in check. You see things in the papers, you see things on the gossip blogs, and it makes you wonder.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, once again, I'm also trying to get the word out about Koala Cola. We've been really pushed on this to go on not exactly a press tour, but essentially a press tour.
Yeah, it's like a press walkabout, right?
Yeah, that is the term they use. Yeah, I'm just not as.
Yeah, you're walking like at like 60, 70 miles or something like that. It's like a really long distance over the course of days, but you've got press with you the whole time.
Yeah, it's a lot, and all we are we allowed to drink is koala cola, and by the way, I love it. It tastes just like donut.
Yep.
So I'm loving it, and I'm having the time of my life. Anyway, so that was our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the house.
Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Who his entire thing is being anti-koala and how we should be eating more koalas. That looks bad. That really reflects poorly on Koala Cola. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Scummy Steve. Steve.
Later, Cameron tells me we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London. I'm guessing we do.
Okay. Is that why you use the term guest? Is you're guessing?
Yeah, I mean that's there's definitely a mystery to it.
Okay.
Before, I mean,
because sometimes
you've never wondered.
You seem to know sometimes
why the guest every single week has a bag over their head with a big question mark.
Well, yeah, because I worry about their hair getting messed up.
Well, okay, but we're supposed to like guess who it is, and then we just see if we're right.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, so I'm gonna put my guess as who would I think? Okay, Shaq. I've never. That's just off the top of my head. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, maybe. Again, I don't know. I would love that. That'd be great.
Okay. Anyway, so before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. This note comes from a lucky, crampy koala worker who, after several days of indecision in the back room, decided to go ahead and sign that non-disclosure agreement. The note reads, quote, "I love working at Koala Cola," end quote. Well, that's great. That's great.
Super great to hear. And they wrote into us with that?
That's right.
Can I see it real quick?
Yeah, it's kind of stained. It's a little red.
Well, that's what I was supposed to ask. So it says it's like typed out, like on a typewriter. It says, "I love working here," and then something in sort of like a red, like Kool-Aid juice says, I don't know. It's something in a language I can't read.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to be open to other cultures, but unfortunately I don't. Yeah, I also don't know how to read it. I'm illiterate in that area.
It's like Polish, probably.
Yeah, but I'll say we were admittedly a little hesitant to partner up with Koala Cola at first, which sounds crazy at this point. But we were hesitant, but we keep hearing these great stories from their employees, so we just knew that we had to get involved. So anyway, to that listener, that lucky crampy koala worker, thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay, thanks. Along with some of the other topics we've been covering, is a cause of liver cirrhosis. So, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is a common condition in which there's excess fat in the liver of those who don't consume alcohol. So, you have to rule that out, the alcohol part. So there are two types. One is non-alcoholic fatty liver, which is relatively benign. And then there is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis.
So you can get this from not having enough alcohol? That is interesting, because I have a lot of these people that I know who keep, like, they're really snooty about, like, oh, I don't drink anymore. Oh, it was too important in my life, so I stopped doing it. But they're, like, really, like, kind of turning their nose up to everyone. And I'd love to be able to shove this in their face. Like, you have to have like a minimum level of alcohol in your system at any given time, or otherwise you're going to get non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome.
Yeah, so I mean that's honestly maybe the closest you've ever come to pronouncing the name of one of these diseases, but like properly. But so this is actually it's caused by essentially by being fat. But I'll go on to that. So it's the bad one. The bad version of it is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis or NASH. And it's typically associated with inflammation and fibrosis and the potential to progress to cirrhosis. So, and it's also potentially pre-malignant, meaning they can turn into a cancer. So, the disorder is associated with obesity, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, and corticosteroid use. The most important diagnostic challenge is to exclude the more serious liver disease. Once again, you're looking at alcohol first. That's a big one. And also, for some other diseases, liver function tests are often mildly abnormal.
That they hit their minimum level for the day.
So that's not. In any case, so biopsy is the most accurate test, and it'll actually show the same microvesicular fatty deposits that you would find in alcoholic liver disease, but without the alcohol use. So I would say, to our listeners, you actually should not drink. That's drink alcohol. That is. Sorry, I do want to clarify. You shouldn't drink alcohol. You should drink water. 2 liters of water a day is great, unless of course you have some issues of fluid overload. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, you can like a vodka water or anything like that will really sort of balance out your alcohol intake with proper hydration. Because you want to be hitting, what is it? It's 8 cups a day, right, Dr. London?
Of water?
8 cups of, like a vodka water a day.
Yeah, so
it's like 64 ounces-ish. That can be a lot to do. And I know a lot of people, it's like, oh, I don't necessarily like the taste of this, or, oh, the taste of this is so boring, and so they want to add, like powders to it and all these different things. But it's sort of like you just got to, get used to it. You got to find the way that you love it and maybe like set a reminder on your phone, like, okay, drink your vodka water.
Yes. So treatment is to correct the diabetes, obesity, and hyperlipidemia. There's no specific drug treatment to reverse the more benign non-alcoholic fatty liver. You'll give vitamin E to these patients usually. NASH, and that's the bad one, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. That's treated with obeticholic acid, which decreases the progression of the disease, but it will not reverse severe fibrosis. That's basically scar tissue in your liver. And if there's NASH and diabetes, you'll treat that with pioglitazone.
And that's really sad to hear that even if you were to try to binge drink tonight to try to catch up on what you've been missing out on, that it's not reversible. There's no way you're going to be able to take that back.
Yes, and really, I would once again emphasize to our listeners, and Cameron has his methods, but I would say, as a medical professional, probably you just want to stick with, water. Water's a really good one. Try to minimize the alcohol intake, but we can move on from there.
Well, I mean, except for Koala Cola's new line of summer spritzers.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, we'd have to. Great timing. Yeah. So Koala Cola's new line of spritzers, their wine coolers, and their what was the other one? It's just super caffeinated, right? It's like a Four Locos.
Oh, Java Jungle.
Yeah. So the
coffee-based alcoholic energy drink.
So normally I would say that it's dangerous to mix, high caffeine with high alcohol content. That's, speed.
In a large volume, roughly the size of like a bottle of wine.
Yeah. So normally I would say to avoid that, but contractually, I'm going to go ahead and say, wow, Koala Cola's new Java Jungle, it tastes just like Down Under. Yes. Okay. Anyway, do you want to move on from there? Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We can move on.
Great. All right, Cameron, so we have a guest. Okay, well, I see the bag over his head.
Or do I get a guess as well?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. So I think it's Shaq. Now I definitely think it's Shaq. He's so there's just the posture.
He's very tall, and he's very like he carries himself like a very important person.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's why I would say the lead singer of Train.
Yeah. It's those Shaq and Train.
Yeah.
The lead singer of Train are so easy to confuse.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
honestly, this will be a great reveal.
Right. It's just like they have the same vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing them both in a crowd, they both are gonna stand out. Just like, well, because they will, have the crowd partying for them.
Well, I mean,
Anyways,
what is Drops of Jupiter if not a slam dunk that shatters the backboard?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And what is a slam dunk that shatters a backboard, except another?
Like, Hey Soul Sister.
All right. Well, hello there. My name. Sorry, let me take the bag off. Whoa.
Hey, Soul Sister, it's me. Scummy Steve, baby! I was gonna try to do my Shaq impression, but then I thought I don't have one. You guys!
Oh.
Yeah.
This is
Wow,
your new
great.
buddy, Dr. London, right?
Yeah.
Do you wanna introduce
yeah.
him?
Yeah. So well, for one thing, I guess we've already met, but my name is drlondonsmith.com, as you know, and this is our producer Cameron.
I know, man. Good to see you again, dude. I haven't seen you since you fell off that boat.
Yeah. So this is Scummy Steve.
Whoa! Wait, I didn't know this part of it. He fell off the boat.
It's nothing. It's
yeah,
nothing.
man. We were paragliding and we were getting dragged behind the boat, and then we finally got on the boat, and Dr. London fell right off.
Oh man!
And we kept going, and
He fell right under.
It's great. Crampy loves that it happened too. So
what's your deal, Crampy?
well, Crampy was I think he was just excited to use his catchphrase in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he fell down under the boat. I get it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just avoid the word down or under because it sort of he's gonna twist it into a catchphrase thing.
Ah, man, I saw him just like on the edge of
Yeah.
his seat trying to say something, but trying to hold it back at the same time as you were saying down and under. Just
You
then.
can see his little lips moving like he's talking to himself, but you can't you can't hear what he's saying. Okay.
Oh man,
Okay, Crampy. Okay.
we're like edging this dude. We're like edging this dude right now. Crampy's on the edge, man.
All right. So I mean, okay, Scummy Steve.
Yo.
Besides stories of.
by the way, I'm so glad that you guys got to meet, and I'm so sorry that I didn't invite you, Cameron. I didn't. Steve said it'd be weird.
Yeah, the boat's got 3 seats: driver, Scummy Steve, Scummy Steve's friend, and in this case, that was Dr. London.
Yeah, and like the trip to Puerto Rico alone was like it was one of those things where we only had so many.
Yeah.
seats
yeah.
That we.
Oh no, and I had a potluck I was going to that
yeah,
week.
you said you had a chicken dinner thing.
I had a chicken potluck thing with my friend's
Yum,
sister and her dad's mom.
Your
Yeah,
friend's sister?
And
did that
it
get
was
canceled?
It was a potluck. It took the whole weekend.
Are you like trying to hit that, or what's going on, friend's sister?
Oh, I would never hit a woman.
All right,
That-
to each their own. To each their own.
You know what I mean? And that's not like I'm not here
You're
to
talking
judge.
to Scummy Steve about this.
Yeah,
know.
Scummy Steve. Yeah, I'm not here to say one way or the other like how I feel about certain things, but I just personally would never hit a woman.
Hey, yeah, you do you, man. You do you.
One thing to clarify for our listeners, it may sound mean that we keep calling Scummy Steve Scummy to his face. That's his own title. Like, Steve, do you want to share how you got that
Dude,
name?
I earned that
aside
name.
from
I
your
earned that name.
hunting-
Okay, because for a long
Yeah.
time, I was working at this restaurant called Long John Silver's, right? And so I was like in there, and they'd be like, hey, we need somebody to clean out the fryer. And there's nobody who can get scum out of a fryer like Scummy Steve. And I wore it as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, sure, this is an entry-level position, and I'm barely holding down the job. But, like, I can clean this dang fryer. Call me Scummy Steve, because I'll get that scum out.
Yeah. And it's
stuff of legends.
It's an entry-level position. You're not expected to work there forever, so there's no reason to be paid, $15 an hour or anything like that, right?
No, of course not. No.
Because it's so entry-level.
Right. No, look, if you are doing a job that nobody else wants to do, you should get paid like shit for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because that motivated you to work harder, right?
Exactly.
Because look at where you are now. Now, Scummy Steve, I don't agree with a lot of your beliefs, but you're very well known. I mean, you have a pretty big following as being an anti-koala activist.
Hell
you say
yeah.
koalas suck,
Or
they're the most boring animals, and you have,
pro koala in a way.
pro koala eating. You're big into koala jerky and koala meats.
Yeah, I got some right here. Do you want to try it?
Yeah. I do.
In front of Crampy,
Crampy, you want to try it?
No, I get.
No, please don't make Crampy eat a koala.
Hey, I'm just offering. I'm not going to exclude Crampy from this. That's all I'm saying. Crampy, you don't want to eat it. You don't have to eat it.
That's.
This is messed
I
up.
guess that's polite. I don't know how polite that is.
It's polite.
I just
want to
know
your hosts or your guests.
I just want to
food. That's what I've always learned. That's what I've always learned.
I just want to know how you fell into this. I mean, you're starting off as someone making minimum wage, and you're making exactly the amount you should be making, and you shouldn't be questioning it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
protesting any change to that law.
And then all of a sudden, within a year or two, you have, 125,000 followers on Twitter. You are, you created the hashtag No More Koalas.
Well, that actually, it all came out of my work. I was in at my Long John Silver's. I was trying to clean out the fryer, and this koala hopped in the fryer while I was cleaning it. And I tweeted a picture of that, and that's what got me most of my followers, to be honest. I tweeted that picture. It said, "No more koalas" in Long John Silver's. And then I discovered that, the Long John Silver's part wasn't as popular as the "No More Koalas." So then I was like, "No more koalas forever."
Wow, yeah, and it just caught fire. You found other people who felt the same way. That's awesome.
You know it, dude.
Even though I don't agree, but I believe that we can be friends even if we disagree on certain things,
I think so too.
The biggest thing being, whether we should
eradicate.
consume, not just eradicate, but also feast upon.
Look. If we're gonna
Every
cause
koala,
extinction, we should at least use all the meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Yeah.
want to make something go extinct, don't waste it. Use the whole buffalo, as some people used to say.
But that just sounds like an advertisement for your koala jerky, which is now sort of, I imagine that's probably your main source of income, right?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy how many people want to buy this koala jerky, because everybody, like people who know, they know koala jerky tastes the best. People who don't know, they think it's a joke. They don't think it's real koala. They're like, "What is this, beef?" No, eat it, dude. It's a koala bear.
Wow, and you're laughing at them while they do it.
All the time, man. When I see people being dumb, I laugh at them. That's the thing. I don't give them.
No, I get
There's
that.
no reason to hold back,
Well, I'm going to be honest, Scummy Steve, you're kind of winning me over a little bit.
Oh. Well, hey, I'm always in the market. What?
You've just got a fun vibe to you. I'm not necessarily pro removing koalas from the earth, but I'm a little more neutral about it. You know what I mean?
They will interrupt your process while you're trying to clean out the fucking deep fryer, man. And excuse me, can I fucking swear?
It will be beeped, and if you can actually choose your own beep noise. Would you like an old-timey car awooga? Would you like a space laser? Or would you like I don't know, like a dolphin
Can I make a fourth request instead of one of those options?
Yeah.
Could it be like?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will see. I'll have to go back to headquarters.
Could it be like, okay, so like a koala, right? But the koala is like,
yeah,
kill me.
DJ Dylan, can we accomplish that?
Either that, or I'll take that awooga.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so Crampy seems hesitant about the idea as well.
Crampy, do you want to be the voice of my beep sound? Crampy, Crampy, if you could just say kill me real quick, we can use that drop.
Don't kill me!
Oh, you want me to kill you, Crampy?
So
I'd love to.
He said.
I'm kidding. I know.
He said. I believe he said don't,
okay.
but I guess you could just crop out the that.
What if we just get Crampy saying beep, and that can be sort of a compromise? Crampy, are you okay with saying beep?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
you okay?
so,
Well, then you would rather stick with the "please kill me."
Please
All right,
kill
that's
me.
your
Wow.
choice, man.
Thanks,
I was
Crampy.
trying
That's
to
what I
kind
wanted
of
out of
stick
this,
up
dude.
for you because I was worried that it was uncomfortable for you, but that's your choice, dude.
I get the impression that he's really just hesitant to bring himself in more than he has to, which I understand given that we're talking about eradicating his race in his presence. I can see
Species.
entire
Yeah, I
species.
it's
prefer
an
to think
animal,
of it as
but yeah.
species. It makes it a lot more palatable. Now, speaking of palatable, I noticed that you guys haven't like taken a single chomp down on that koala jerky.
Yeah, you know what? I think it would go great with, and I'm not implying anything about this, but it would go great with koala cola.
Ooh. Now, I mean,
Not that there's
Sure, but
there's there aren't any koala parts
Well,
in koala cola.
Just can
just
be
to
if you
hold
put some
off
koala jerky
for
in
a
there.
second, saying that this specifically would taste good with koala cola implies that certain things wouldn't taste good with koala cola. So you should
Oh,
follow
okay.
follow it up with this will taste good with koala cola because koala cola tastes good with everything.
But I do know that I tried a few things that didn't taste so good with koala cola. Okay, and number one,
We really can't say that.
well,
We can't-
okay,
that's
but
not really-
but think
It
about
tastes different. Things that tasted
It's
different.
just like Down Under.
Crampy man, you're right that it tastes like Down Under, but that's the problem because I was eating my own poop and it tasted like down under my butt, and that's not good. I don't want that.
Okay, and I want to just clarify real quick. This just we have to read this every time this happens. So, koala cola is not made with any parts of a koala, including it's not made from the anus, it's not made from the rectum, it's not made from the colon of a koala. There are no not made from the skin surrounding the perianal area, the cheeks, the buttocks. It's not made with any of those parts of the koala. Koala cola is made with no koala parts.
Well, koala jerky is
Anyway,
made
what were you
with
saying?
entirely koala.
Yeah, that's 100%
Ass meat.
koala parts. And
Yeah.
oh, it's mostly koala ass meat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because like the flanks and stuff, that you can make up into a nice steak, but like the ass meat doesn't really have anywhere else to go.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, I'm not gonna judge. I'm sure like just regular beef jerky is a cow's butt or something, right?
It is, yeah. Good beef jerky is anyway.
Yeah, how much of beef is the butt?
How much of beef
Ooh,
is the
I would
butt?
say probably
Sorry.
100% of 100% of beef is butt.
I think so, yeah.
But
Yeah, because the rest of it is
yeah.
just called cow meat, but then beef is the butt.
Scummy Steve, what brought you here?
What brought me here, dude? Oh man,
Yeah.
I wanted to return Dr. London's calculator.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I have been looking all over for this thing. I'm so glad you made the trip from Puerto Rico because, it was my understanding that you, for whatever reason, you were allowed to go there, but like flying back was going to be problematic. So I guess, did you take a boat?
No. I had to smuggle myself in a cargo bay on a plane. So the thing about not having a passport is you're not allowed to travel legally, commercially, or any other way. So for me, what I had to do was box myself in with the koala jerky that I was shipping from Puerto Rico to Australia. Interesting fact.
Yeah.
I had to import koala meat to Puerto Rico because that's where I'm able to process it into jerky and then ship it back to Australia because that's where people are buying it.
Wow.
Wait, no. I shipped it to wherever you are.
Yeah.
Well,
And no, it does get confusing because sometimes we are in international waters.
Yeah, where are we right now?
depending on
I got off the
report.
plane. I don't remember.
We are currently in international waters.
yeah,
right?
I don't really want to say because I also don't really know. DJ Dillon is sort of the navigator guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That explains why getting off the cargo plane was like, felt a little choppy because like, oh, we're on a boat. I didn't even know. We're on a boat and you're right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good one,
Scummy
yeah.
Steve, you're just always partying.
I don't have enough.
Sorry, I have a question here, real quick though, Dr. London. Am I supposed to believe that you didn't have your calculator these last few days?
Well,
Because
okay.
how you told me you did all your equations for the day. Do you want to tell me how you did that?
So I told you I did all my equations. I've been I've been covering up a little bit. I haven't done all of my. Now everybody knows doctors do a lot of equations, and so for me, I've been for the last when did I? Yeah, it was over the last week I visited, and my equations have been piling up, and I don't know how I'm going to get through it. Even with this calculator now, I don't think it's enough for me to catch up. So
I should tell you.
Thank you for asking.
That calculator was in the cargo hold with me, and they kept that cargo hold like at sub-zero temperatures to keep all the meat fresh. So it did definitely like go through a freezing process where I'm not sure the calculations are going to be accurate anymore.
You think the numbers are too cold? The numbers inside the calculator?
Yeah, the calculator's numbers got
that is really frustrating when that happens, when they get too frozen to show on the screen.
Well, hold on, because computers work better, and calculators are computers. They work better the lower the temperature, right? So I might be able to really catch up on my equations with this.
People
do
say, the fastest gaming computer would be a computer in the Arctic.
Yeah,
like outside
People
in the
are always
middle of
saying
the
that.
Arctic. That would have to be the fast. If you have an Alienware out in the Arctic, do you know how fast that would
PS5?
go?
Get crazy, get that
Yeah.
Alienware out to Pluto. Then it's more like in its happy place, and it's colder.
that one chess
And
playing computer.
processors, right? You know what I'm talking about?
No, hey man, you don't have to tell me about
So
processors, dude.
I mean, Scummy Steve, so you just came here to return the calculator. Okay, so are you going to do anything while you're visiting the area, the international waters area?
Oh man, yeah, I had so many plans for when I got here, man. I was thinking to myself, like, first of all, I'm gonna get this calculator back to Dr. London because I did need it to calculate the trajectory of the boat, and like, I think I got it right because I made it here.
Yeah, I mean, you're here, so. And
Yeah, I used it to calculate.
you
the
did
trajectory.
crash into our boat.
I did. Yeah. Sorry about that again.
No,
Well,
that's fine.
No, it's great.
The only way we're here is because we crashed into whatever this was first.
Right. And it does look like an abandoned oil rig of some kind. Not to speculate too hard, but it does look like an abandoned oil rig of some kind.
It looks like an oil rig that a boat had crashed into and is now sort of an amorphous blob connected together. A rat king of, boat wreckage.
I should say, this also, we aren't the first to reckon. Like, there is a whole apparent civilization.
Oh,
here
I
on
met my
this
wife
rig.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So it's
Wait, there's girls here?
yeah, it's.
No, not anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that. No.
No, they
Because I was going to say
left.
I was going to change my plans.
That same. I would have. Yeah, but no, they're I wouldn't call them girls. I wouldn't want to label any of the.
Well, you could call them
I was gonna
women.
say
I'd be
humans.
more
Any of the
interested.
creatures.
It was a crowd of people who were tired of hearing our podcast, and so they kind of got out of here quickly. But a lot of them swam too.
There's women that listen to your podcast?
No,
No.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah,
there
that adds up.
there
That adds up.
was when we were sort of forcing everyone on the barge to listen to our podcast. We would play over sort of a speaker
yeah.
system.
Yeah, to be perfectly clear, no, there are zero women who are willing to
absolutely
listen
not.
to. And I think it's just the voices. I think the content is great. I think it's just our voices are so grating.
Yeah.
on our
That tracks.
ears.
Yeah. Every time
Which
I
I
listen to it, I'm
understand
like,
that.
damn, if I was a woman, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not,
But
so
like
I love
not
it.
not in a good way. Yeah.
What is happening now? This so let me tell you about what my plan is. Now that I know I don't have to change it because there's women on board. My plan is get you back that calculator, make you try my koala jerky, which I'm still seeing you haven't taken a chomp down on that thing yet. And number 3, liberate you from the evils of koala cola.
Well,
Ooh.
okay. Well, let's
Yeah,
let's tackle number
Okay,
2
yeah,
first.
yeah. I'd love
You
to
definitely-
take a try.
You definitely are not allowed to use the word evil before or after the trademark name of Koala
Okay,
Cola.
well, I did
That
it.
Just
will
legally.
that is legally will get us into trouble.
Didn't-
Um,
Yeah, now that's what that.
So why do you have so much packaging for this? Because it's like maybe an inch long. This piece of
Yeah, it's an inch of meat and 16 inches of packaging because it's important to make sure you lock in that fresh koala meat flavor.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just don't think jerky is usually this hairy.
True.
I guess would be my sort of my first observation.
Yeah, no, that's true, and that's part of the difference between a cow and a koala is that koala's got a hairy butt. So that's why there's more hair on this jerky than you're used to.
And it's not something that could like be removed or altered in any way.
Honestly, I'm not sure if we could have taken it off, but I didn't.
Why change the product if it's doing so well?
Exactly.
I mean,
People love this stuff. And I love the Twitter pictures I get from my fans sending me pictures of them picking the hairs out of their teeth.
oh yeah.
It's so.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So the caption I'm reading on this is you can taste the screams.
Mhm.
Is that who chose that? Is that all you?
I chose that because I was thinking to
Wow.
myself as I was
tastes pretty good.
as I was cutting the butts off some koalas and they were screaming. I was like, wow, I wonder what this feeling tastes like. And then I took a bite of my first completed jerky and I was like,
Oh,
that's it. That's the screams. You could taste the screams.
What is the?
it's fighting
Oh, sorry.
the flavor. The flavor of screams fights with the flavor of hair. Is what I'm feeling like.
What is
But
what is
I see
this
them as
bleachy
complimentary.
taste that like kind of aftertaste that's kind of there?
Oh, that's bleach, dude. Yeah. Because that's how you make
Oh.
jerky. Is you take meat, you put it in bleach, and you take it out, and then it's dried meat.
Wow. It's
Once the
very,
bleach dries,
it's very
of course.
sour. It has, bleach has sort of a both sour and spicy taste to it, which is very interesting.
That's true. And I augment that spicy taste by just adding a little tiny bit, just one cayenne pepper.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
a
you
cayenne
gotta
pepper?
have the pep.
One granule of cayenne pepper that you get like at the store.
Oh, you should around Halloween time look into doing like a ghost pepper variation.
The ghosts
Very
of koalas
popular.
past. And then,
Yes.
okay, yeah, this is marketing genius, dude. Why don't you make meats?
Ooh, I mean, I'm sort of under an exclusive contract already, and so I think I think it would look kind of bad, especially since the company I'm working for has been trying to distance themselves from, you and your product and your sort of activism and.
Yeah. Well, hey, if we can liberate you from koala cola.
He's trying to kill us all.
I am. That's
Yep,
right. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's hiding that, Crampy. And
No.
honestly, I am being convinced.
Yeah, I don't-
So every time you speak up, Crampy.
Yeah, really, the only thing I need to do to convince you all to get liberated from these koala cola folks is just like Crampy talk more.
yeah, it is difficult. So Crampy, maybe same advice that I would have for anyone who's trying to convince women to listen to our podcast. I'd say don't let the voices be heard. is really a good way
Yeah.
to approach it.
They'll do it.
But
Yeah,
Uh,
I hope so.
So, Scummy Steve, I really, really love your energy. I'm just not crazy about the, the massacring koalas thing. Can we somehow bring you on board to the Jock Doc podcast and your energy and your attitude? Like, you really bring the attitude. Like, I totally get why you just are a magnet for followers and becoming an influencer and all these things. So I do want you, if you want to be a part of the Jock Doc brand, I have to distance myself somewhat from the koala slaughter stuff.
oh man.
Yeah, the slaughtering.
So
is
maybe you
a
could
negative.
be like a brand ambassador or something, but it's like maybe when you like post about our podcast, like on your socials and stuff, maybe you don't include like koala meat in the picture or like a koala's head or anything like that. You just post about the podcast. Would that be?
Which I know-
is that possible?
huge
Because I don't
change.
want to make you do something you don't feel comfortable doing.
I mean, look, man, can I come clean with you guys for just a second?
Yeah, I mean, please.
Yeah. Okay.
This is my last batch of koala jerky, and after this, like, I don't have access to the koalas anymore, man, because I'm not legally allowed to be in Australia.
Oh.
I was gonna say like killing koalas. I thought that might also
that
be
was already
problematic.
illegal, and that is why I'm not allowed to be in Australia anymore. Like I was
Okay.
doing that illegally for a long time, and now it's like, yo, if you come back to Australia, you go to jail for the rest of your life. And I can't live that life, man. Look at me. I'd never make it in prison.
Well, okay. I would say first off, if this is the last batch of your product, you probably shouldn't just be handing it out so willy-nilly.
Dude, you gotta build up goodwill in business. You gotta like get people into your product, and you guys weren't into it, so I figured I'd like give it to you to
But
try it,
th-
and then you'd like
but
it,
And it
and then
worked.
you'd buy it.
This is an opportunity. You're seeing this as a negative thing. But okay, what if
Yeah.
this, your supplies are drying up, they're coming to an end. This is an opportunity to maybe
Yeah.
transition into something else.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta find something else. But like, my whole identity is based on getting revenge against this one koala that jumped into the fryer at Long John Silver's that one time. You
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, how can I abandon this like core tenet of my identity? It just
Well,
to
it makes
embrace
it-
something new
it-
and make positive
It's just
change.
moving to a new format. I mean, think of, like Vine stars when Vine shut down. And they didn't just
Yeah.
disappear. They were able to successfully have a career in being a sexual predator. And likewise,
So you're saying I should have a career in being a sexual
no,
predator?
no. I think for you could be all about me in London, basically. Making us look cool and
okay.
badass.
I could like be your sexual predator.
Well, no, I mean, I meant that, I mean, how do I want to think about this?
Yeah, how do you
Well,
want to deal with this? Huh?
Can I
Well,
sidebar with Cameron? for a
yeah,
second?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just chew on my jerky.
Yeah. So Cameron, so this is one of those things where you don't want to be impolite.
Yeah.
Because I know that you've already told me before, like he's not your type. But that doesn't always come across when you tell people. You can't just tell people you're not my type.
Well, it's just,
That's not polite, right?
what, predator? Yeah, like, I'm not, like,
Yeah.
like,
You're not
I
into
don't think
predators.
predator is much of a sexual being anyway, and so to make him a sexual predator, I don't know, like, if I'm attracted to something, it would be alien.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard that there are a lot of sort of very effeminate metaphors throughout the Alien movies, and I know that's something you've already been into. And so I guess now we need to figure out how to break this news to Steve, because I don't want to just say we're not into you in that way. That's
What I mean, can
isn't
we
that
not
mean?
use him for anything?
I guess we just have to be clear and we could just say it's not professional. The predator aspect, or it's not. It's in our contract that they.
I
Can't.
don't even think we have to address it. I think we can just distract him if we give him something else.
Okay. Let's we can try that.
Yeah, like I think, hey, Steve. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Sorry,
so
chewing
let's
on
maybe.
some
What
hair.
if you transition out of the hairy koala market and into Star Wars themed parody videos?
Whoa, that's a huge jump, dude. And it sounds fun in a lot of ways because it is like, I know a lot about Star Wars. I saw one of them, so I could probably handle that.
Yeah.
Which one did you see?
Attack of the Clones?
Okay. Yeah. Everyone's favorite. Good.
Yeah,
So
certainly my favorite. So I could do a lot of stuff with that. Like, you could sing songs about, like, Tunisians. They got so much power. I don't know what that song that I'm parodying
And
is,
then,
that's a
so
problem.
that's how you're making your money now. And then on your socials, you're talking about me in London. You're saying, "Oh, I'm listening to the newest episode of the Jock podcast, and it's so great." Oh, did you see this tweet that producer Cameron posted today? Haha, it's so funny. Oh, look at this epic fail that Dr. London had today. And that's all that becomes sort of your identity.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good. My thought about it is, like, on the one hand, like, my whole life goal of getting revenge on this koala that jumps into the fryer, Long John Silver, it's like I'm abandoning that, which
Yeah.
I guess is okay. But at the same time, I am embracing some new folks who I could probably, like, make a lifelong friendship with. Like me and Dr. London already go way back to that hang gliding trip, and me and Cam now we go way back to right now, which is like that's
we go
pretty
way
good,
back
so.
to the beginning of this interview.
Yeah.
That is far back. Well, do you guys want to reminisce for a second?
Oh man,
Yeah, man. I
at the
love
beginning of the
reminiscing,
interview.
dude.
Oh my gosh, do you remember when you had that bag on your head at first?
Dude, you
Oh
make me
my
sit
gosh.
with that bag on my
And
head
we
for
thought,
so long.
Oh man, we thought like it could be Shaq. Oh, but that was no.
Yeah.
I thought for a
It wasn't.
I thought
It
for a
wasn't
second,
Shaq.
for a single second, I thought it was Michael Rappaport. Like I just really thought it was.
I thought it was Macklemore. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thrift shop.
Oh, Michael Macklemore.
Yeah.
Michael McLemore, the guy who's like, "Hey, you guys are all got to go to the thrift shop. Stop walking around the streets of New York and go to the thrift shop." That's my impression of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, and definitely keep that in the podcast. Now, I will say, on the my favorite thing about the beginning of the show was like, on this episode, you two, neither one of you knew who the guest was, which is crazy. Usually, I've listened to your show a lot of times, and usually, Cam, you know who the guest is in London. You don't, and that's like kind of a fun dynamic. But then this time, neither of you knew it was me. You both thought it was somebody else.
Well, I mean, you know what? Like a lot of times when I say our guest so and so, I'm taking a guess, and I'm right like 99% of the time.
It's a guess.
Yeah, it's a guess. So I mean, every single
yeah.
guest who's been on the podcast has been sitting in the corner with a bag on their head that had a question mark.
Yeah,
And I don't know who it is until we reveal them. It's just I'm pretty good at guessing.
And I
so
want to
cool.
say, most guests, we don't even need to like have them brought in with a sort of a gun or anything like the bag over their head. Usually it's not. Sometimes this happens, but
well, yeah, I
like,
came in
especially-
with a struggle.
Yeah, and you were in a crowd of people milling about,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so that happens sometimes. But that's I want to say, for our
I do wanna
listeners, for our
explain
future
that.
guests, that's not the norm. Yeah, go ahead.
Because what happened was some of the other people on your boat who I definitely knew about and didn't learn about during this interview, they captured me because I crashed the plane into your boat like we established, and so they were like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "Who wants to eat some koala? Who wants to eat some koala?"
Yeah.
And people were like, "No," and they locked me up, put the bag on my head, and brought me to you, I guess.
They said no. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously would know who you are. That's your catchphase. Like you coming in
was
hot
gonna-
like that.
No, I was shocked. It's like, what are these people living under a rock? No, they're just living on
Yeah.
an old oil rig.
Well, I was gonna say just food also. Like they're getting pretty desperate.
Yeah, well, like you
Um,
said, it's pretty hairy, so people didn't
Yeah.
necessarily recognize it as food. That is the downside to koala jerky. We haven't described it yet, but it does look like just like a patch of gray fur.
Yeah, it was like I said. It was hard to taste the jerky in it. It was
Yeah.
mostly the fur. It was like
the
eating a
fur and
hairball.
yeah, it was the fur and the ass meat of it.
Yeah, well, ass meat
Was
is
re-
great.
Yeah, well,
You gotta
you
eat
know.
ass, dude. You gotta eat ass. Now,
But all of this, I mean, you're running out of supplies. This is all behind
Yeah.
you now.
yeah, right.
So
right,
let's stop
moving on.
reminiscing about the good old days at the beginning of this podcast, and let's focus on the now. Focus on the future. What does 2022 look like for Scummy Steve?
Yeah, man, I gotta figure that out because I am like, can't
It
go back
sounds
to
like
Puerto
we're.
Rico.
I mean, it sounds like we're figuring it out right now. Star
No, I
Wars
know,
parody
yeah.
videos,
Yeah.
and then just constantly plugging this podcast.
What's like the most popular song to do a parody video of?
Oh, probably like California Girls by Katy Perry.
Oh yeah, and I for sure know that song. So good pick.
Yeah, we're all normally doing like I do. I've accidentally done so many parody videos to that because that's just how I'm always singing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just
That
the
song.
biggest song in the world. Like you've got, I mean, that song, maybe TikTok by Kesha, and maybe you're doing just relevant stuff right now, like Mitt Romney and Obama, like the stuff that's just going on right now.
Yeah.
Bro, is it 2008?
I haven't checked my watch.
Because
lately.
you're 2000 and late.
Oh,
That's that TikTok song, right?
That's pretty
well, yeah, and
offensive
it's the
to
Black
say.
Eyed Peas song also.
That's
that
the
was also
one.
really big around
Back then.
this time period right now.
Right now, right? Yeah, back then, right now. So I would say that I could do something with like count. Okay, so like count Dooku on the clock, and we turn that saber to the angle, and we dance, and we're Kesha, and also
Man,
Geonosians. This is hard,
You're
guys. I don't know
nailing
if I'm cut out for
If you
this.
if
No,
you
no, you're hitting it so nail on the head.
Here's
right
the
now.
thing. Here's the thing. You've already got the following, so it doesn't matter. Like the product doesn't matter. You've already got the socials.
Dude, you're so right. Once you get enough social media following, you get likes for like anything. You can just say like, "Today I'm eating a burrito," and that blows up, and people are like, "God, that guy's funny."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can
Yeah.
even. I would say maybe if you even got into like Bitmoji, like animation stories, that would be extremely cheap to do, extremely easy, and it would allow you to be creative. And again, I don't think the content matters as long as you're sort of continuously plugging this podcast.
I am worried though, because like my fans come to expect me to, in every tweet, at least include like a picture of a dead koala.
Yeah,
man. I mean,
and
how
like
could-
or the severed body parts,
Yeah.
severed limbs.
I mean,
Yeah.
how can we compromise on this, Dr. London? I feel like there's got to be some middle ground here.
He killed my father.
Doesn't
Oh,
doesn't make an impact on me
fryer.
at all.
Your father was the one in the fryer?
That's look. We told you to be quiet. Okay, Crampy. We
And
told you to be
Crampy's a
quiet.
liar, so you can't even really trust him for this kind of stuff.
Crampy, are you a liar? Or was your dad the one in the fryer?
You killed my dad.
No one
Okay,
killed
First of all.
anyone.
no, it's
No, I killed that
So-
koala.
who needs
Oh,
to bring
well,
out.
then
all
it's
the-
fine.
Yeah,
Of course
Yeah,
you did, and
yeah.
it's fine.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't have to. The sins of the father don't have to be held against the son, I suppose.
I'd rather not even address it. Like that's why I was kind of just trying to shush Crampy because you
Uh-huh.
are a guest. You
Yeah,
are,
it sure does seem like we want to move on from the koala stuff, and I keep bringing it back up.
No, it is.
It-
Koala Cola is a great brand, and we just want to
No, it's
emphasize
not.
how good it is.
No, I mean, and I appreciate, like, I get it. You are obsessed with koalas. That's what's on your mind. Of course, you're gonna bring it back up. Like, I'm not saying get rid of that entire part of your personality. I just think maybe publicly, since only because you were running out of the koala meat, pivoting towards. I mean, what about like you just build like little Hot Wheels tracks? You build cool Hot Wheels
Oh.
tracks and you just do the car. Again, content, it doesn't matter as long as you're continuously putting it out every day
I
and that
already
you're
do so
advertising
much Hot
this
Wheels
podcast.
stuff,
I
dude.
really want to stress the advertising this podcast part.
Yeah, no, I'm on board for that. Like, I'm so on board. I love you guys so far. Like, my experience paragliding was amazing, and my experience being here has been incredible. So I love you guys for sure. And I already do a lot of Hot Wheels stuff at home. Just
This
like
is awesome.
people
yeah.
don't know that. So all I have to do is just like put a camera on the Hot Wheels car and then have it like as it goes down the track and does the loop de loop. We can like it like flashes to pictures of you guys, and then it's like so it's like the car going down the track, and it's like, hey, look, it's the Jock Dogs. Whoa, loop de loop, you know.
That's
Whoa.
pretty awesome. And I mean, look at you, Scummy Steve. You came in here saying, I only care about koalas. That's my entire life. And we've learned today, A, you're a Hot Wheels designer, track designer.
Absolutely.
B, you're a songwriter.
Well,
And
Listen,
C,
I
you're a
appreciate you guys, but I didn't think that was
hardcore
that
geek gamer nerd, and you love Star Wars.
yeah, man, I love Attack of the Clones, the one movie, Star Wars movie I saw, which I think qualifies me to be a big time geek nerd gamer. I've never played a video game in my life. I think that's a big waste of money and time, and anybody who plays video games should probably kill themselves. But like, other than that, I'm on board with.
It's
geek
all
gamer
the same
culture.
thing. It's just everything is just the same thing now. So it's just you're into Star Wars, that makes you a gamer, and you're also into like X-Men. It's just all the same.
Dude, I'm into one X-Man, and
Which-
that is my girl Rogue, man. Anything she can
Oh.
do, anything she's in, I'll watch that, man.
See, I'm really big into. I remember back in college having a poster on my wall of Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Oh, sure,
man,
yeah.
That was who I wanted to be, you know?
And you look a little like him.
Thank you. That
You're welcome.
I've been trying. I mean, Dr. London is there. I mean,
Do I have a favorite? Yeah. And just to clarify here, so normally we would do the chore wheel, but this is one of the chores.
Dealing with the
actually,
X-Men?
is to choose our
Oh.
sort of romantic fantasy X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
So I was about to bring it up that
Yeah.
it's time to do the chores, but we're already doing it now.
Perfect.
well, let's
So-
run through just the
Can I still
details
spin the
first.
chore wheel?
You got to spin the chore wheel.
Hell yeah.
We've got to have the sound effect. So go ahead and spin the chore wheel now. Let me wait.
Okay.
I got to explain the chore wheel. The chore wheel is that we've got chores and we got to do them. There's just chores and we got to do them every week. Okay. And then now Steve, go ahead and spin the wheel.
Okay.
Okay, and it landed on assassinate Prince Philip. Well,
No, hey,
I already did that, dude.
It landed on remember, choose your X-Men fantasy.
No, I know,
something.
but I'm saying this is what it actually landed on. But if we can swap this out,
Well, we don't have to. You don't have to make that. You can take that off the chore wheel. I already did that.
okay, that's perfect. So then we can just
So we
we
got
can just
two.
move that one here. Oh, what is that? We've got our X-Men thingy.
Yeah, Rogue.
Yeah. So Rogue, and then so for me,
Customer Beast.
Colossus.
Colossus.
Yeah. Just I like it whenever it's hard to read people.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. His
You
face
know?
is metal,
Yeah, and
but
like
not like metal, but like metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just very literal. I like it when people are incredibly literal and also foreign accents.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get
All
that.
right, so if we want to go ahead and destroy the chore wheel, I think you could actually just push it overboard, and the fall alone into because your plane is still on fire,
Yeah.
your cargo plane.
Yeah.
So if
you wanna
just
just push
dump
it
it right into the
Full
flames
of
there.
koala
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah,
So it's
And
gonna
of course,
it's gonna blaze for a long time.
the
It's gonna
studio
burn
does
for a
have
while,
this gaping opening where
Where
there's
it
a
hit.
big drop off to the cliff. Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me
go
just shove
push
it
that
out
off.
That is one thing people don't really talk a lot about is how much koala oil burns. It burns for weeks. I mean,
Burns
I
for
saw
weeks.
there was a story going around about a Tesla car that had crashed into a tree and caught fire, and the fire department, it took them 30,000 gallons to put it out because it kept reigniting. What people don't know was that there was a koala on the ignition that sort of rubbed all of its oil all over the place.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why it kept reigniting, not anything that Tesla did.
And see, this is why that koala was in the fryer in the first place. Was obviously we haven't talked about it yet, but the guy who owned the Long John Silver's I was working for, he was using koalas to make the oil for the fryer, so the fryer would never run out of oil.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes just like Down Under.
Yeah,
Why did
yeah. The fries at Long John's kind of did actually.
Okay. Sorry. Crampy, I guess, is more involved today than usual, and
I'm having a hard
get-
time not killing Crampy.
I'm sure he's having a struggle with you having killed his father.
His
So
Well, I want to get revenge on Crampy for his dad interrupting my cleaning that Long John Silver's.
yeah.
But it sounds like you already did by killing him. Like, I don't.
Well, yeah.
There's more revenge you have to take.
That's the thing about revenge, man.
Isn't that the main one?
There's always more to it. You kill one, and then you just need to kill another.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, maybe it's a good time to kind of end things here. So,
Real quick,
yeah.
that's also the story of Hanukkah, the reason it lasted 8 nights. Koala.
Oh, and that is one of those
Alright.
things that a lot of people don't know about. But this is why we talk, and this is why we share different cultures and different stories.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm Jewish. Let's move on.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, Scummy Steve, could you tell our listeners, how to find you? Anything you're affiliated with that you'd like them to hear?
I've been trying to get on this podcast for a long time. This one, but also another one called Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pips. And like, man, I swear I've seen dudes who look kind of like you dudes on there sometimes.
That's suspicious.
I've actually watched that show, and I have noticed the same thing. There's this very handsome fellow who keeps popping up on the show, who looks like he's copying a lot of my vibe.
Yeah, and like just terrible voices, awful voices.
Oh, he sucks. Yeah, I mean he's boring as hell, and
you're of course talking about the time that they had Kelsey Grammer's Beast on the show. Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, it looks just like you. Now, so that show is like, it's a podcast. So search it for your podcasts, or also follow it on stuff at Lester Pips, or also it's live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Pack Theater. And it has a publicist called at Ezra Partier on Instagram, who's a guy that you could follow that guy too.
Great. And I assume Scummy Steve, people probably, you could just Google you, they'll find you.
At Scummy Steve on all the things.
If you don't follow
if you want to see
Scummy
some
Steve
pictures
already.
of dead koalas.
Yeah. Well, or we could work on it. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, no. New stuff is going to be just Jock Docs on Hot Wheels cars and stuff.
That's, yes, great. So,
maybe a
anyway.
sweet parody song about Star Wars Episode 2.
Ooh, like a Star Wars Hot Wheels parody.
Oh, man. Could you imagine if what's Obi-Wan Kenobi's truck, you know?
Oh,
Obi-Wan Kenobi's probably not a truck. He's probably a sports car.
I was going to say, trucks on his skateboard? Because I don't know that he's a skater kid either.
Oh, dude, Obi-Wan skates, dude. Obi-Wan can do so many kickflips in a row. Because think about it, he's got the Force.
I definitely know Darth Maul skates. That's like, I believe, a big part of his brand.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know him because I didn't see Star Wars Episode 1 that he's in, but I do know that later in like the Clone Wars and stuff, he comes back with the skater legs.
Yeah. Well, and also just after the movies, he wasn't cast in a whole lot of things after the Star Wars movies, and so he sort of pivoted to sort of this like a kind of a skating career as sort of like an amateur, but just able to make a little money off of it doing skate vids and stuff.
Yeah. When they were doing the casting for Phantom Menace, they were looking for a Tony Hawk type.
Yes.
And that's who they got.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk auditioned, I heard, and he did not know how to hold a lightsaber.
Yeah. And that's
it's all legs with him.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk is all legs, dude.
Tony Hawk is all CGI, which we can talk about that on a different episode because that'll take a while.
Man, I bet someday soon you'll have Tony Hawk on the pod to talk about that.
We do need to invite him. In any case, so thank you, Scummy Steve, for being on, and yes, and thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Crampy Koala.
It tastes just like down under.
I know. Thank you to Digital in the House. Digital in the House. Digital in the House.
I've never played a video game in my life. I think that's a big waste of money and time, and anybody who plays video games should probably kill themselves. But like, other than that, I'm on board with geek gamer culture. Other than that, I'm on board with geek gamer culture.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.
Ah!